Okay, hi everybody. We are live streaming on YouTube. We're gonna be starting our July edition of Live Poetic Open Mic, hosted and produced by the LA Poet Society. We're really excited to have two amazing writers in the house joining us today. We have Enrique Medina and we have Doren Damico. And it's an open mic to everyone out there that wants to join us and share your creativity with us. You're welcome to catch our Zoom. We are at if you go to Zoom, you can type in the code, and the code is join us, join us. You can also go to Instagram.com and find Los Angeles Poet Society, and the link is posted there. So you can also do the hot link through there. And my gosh, here it is. Okay, and the code to join us tonight is if you go to zoom.us, you can type in 810-255-2763. So 810-255-52763. You can join us. We'd love to hear from y'all. And the thing about the LA Poet Society is that we have no borders. So join us. If you want to participate, that's all we need. We welcome you to be part of our creative community. Okay, so we're gonna give a minute for a few folks to join, and then we'll go ahead and start. Meanwhile, I just want to share, we have a current fundraiser that we launched for LA Poet Society, and it's a new fundraiser for the new fiscal year. So I'll have that up on the screen right now, but you can find it on GoFundMe. Supporting our impact, our mission, we create nearly 100 events a year, including open mics, 4 festivals. We also have a writing circle, and we have an interview program on our Instagram live called Voices of Color. We also have poetry on the spot at Melrose Trading Post in Los Angeles. If you're local, you can come see us on Sunday afternoon and get a custom poem. But we always have something going on. We also host open mics in person along with Live Poetic, which is on Zoom. So we'd love if you could help support our work to continue our mission. And most of our events are free to the people. So check it out. I'm going to go ahead and put this link in the chat in our Zoom, but I'm going to keep this up so y'all can check it out and hopefully support the work that we're doing. Hi, welcome. We're going to wait a couple more minutes just for some other guests to join, and then we'll start Live Poetic Open Mic. Thanks for being here. I'm your host, Jessica Wilson, and I'm really excited. We have Jose Enrique Medina in the house. And of course, it's open mic, so if anyone is prone to participate today, you get about 5 minutes. You know, if we have a small group, you can get a couple more minutes than that. So if you do want to share the open mic, please type your name in the chat just so that I can add you to the list. So we'll give let's give another 4 minutes just to gather. Our other guest is going to be joining. We have another feature poet and novelist that's going to be hopping on. So I just want to give her a few moments to jump in. Okay. So while we're waiting, I just wanted to go ahead and share our Los Angeles Poet Society Instagram. If you're new to LA Poet Society, this is an area where you can go and check out what we have coming up. As I said, we do nearly 100 events a year free to the community, and we post all our flyers here on our Instagram. So I just wanted to share with you. So of course we have our flyer for tonight's show, but I just want to share what we have coming up. So in order of events, ironically, it's the last week and the last week of a month and the first week of a month where we have like all these back-to-back events happening. So after this show, you can join us in person on Saturday over in Lincoln Heights at the Libros. So we have an open mic there in person that starts at 6 o'clock. That's hosted by Naked Poet. Again, this is a free event open to all artists. So we welcome poets and writers of all sorts. We welcome musicians, comedians, people who want to do a monologue. You're welcome to join. There's no cover. Again, you just show up. And then on Sunday this week, so this Sunday we have our Voices of Color. This is our interview show with Miss B, and this is going to be live on our Instagram page. So live at 5 p.m. Pacific time, you can watch the interview with Miss B and Juan Amador being featured this month. And Voices of Color is an interview show that amplifies the Black and Brown experience, some real talk, just straight up. And then also there's a reading, and Miss B really prepares some really thoughtful questions tailored to examples from your writing. So it's pretty cool and enjoyable. Also on Sunday, we will be at the Melrose Trading Post. As I mentioned, we do poetry on the spot where we type up poems for the community. And this weekend, we're actually going to be doing a reading on stage at the Greenway stage at 2:25, and we have these three featured poets: Randall Mason, Candice Margarita, and Salvador Vadillo Rios. So this is another event we have coming up Sunday. And then we do have a big festival happening on August 22nd. We have our third annual LA Street Poetry Festival with some incredible features such as Jagariola. And this is going to be from 10 to 4. And actually, we're moving our location. This is going to be held at the East LA City College in East LA, Monterey Park. So we're going to put a fresh flyer up with all the info. And again, this is free to the people, and there's also the People's Open Mic as part of this. So if you want to share, you're definitely welcome to do that too. All right, so lots of events. Yeah, check out our Instagram, follow us. We also have our website, lapoetsociety.org. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it off. And again, thank you everybody for joining and being part of our event today. We are live streaming to our YouTube. Oh, okay, cool. And I see more people are joining now. Wonderful. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Live Poetic Open Mic. Snap. Thank you. I'm really excited. We're featuring two phenomenal writers, award-winning writers and poets in the room here today. My name is Jessica Wilson. I'm your host. And this is an open mic, so if you do want to share anything, please do type your name in the chat and I'll add you to the list. Open mic, you all get about 5 minutes. We can also extend the time probably up to 7 minutes if we have an intimate crowd. So I again want to welcome you. We're live streaming to our YouTube page, and I do see our features in the room. Good to see y'all. And featured guests, you have up to 15 minutes, or 15 minutos. Sometimes the 15 sounds like 50. That would be a while. That's like a lecture, huh? Anyway, I just hope everyone's doing well. And I want to share one piece before I pass it to our first featured guest. And again, if you want to share folks that are here watching or on the Zoom, just let me know in the chat. So recently I relocated. My family and I, we moved to Mexico. We're in León, Guanajuato. But LA Poet Society is still going strong because it's not just one person, it's about the community and everyone. So thank you to all the different folks that have held the LA Poet Society together with their love and their time. It's all of us, right? So I'm really grateful. And because of my distance, that's what led me to create live Poetic so I can see everybody and be part of the creative community. So, well, this is an old piece that I discovered. And being over here in Mexico, my husband Juan started an open mic as well, and it's called Miércoles de Escritores, so Writer Wednesday. And my kids are called Sol and Luna, and we all go to the mic together. And my husband hosted and reads, and if you know Juan Flautista, he's pretty dynamic. Um, anyway, I discovered this poem when I was, there at that mic, and ironically, it's written to my son. So I just want to share it. Right now he's gonna be turning 8 years old in about 4 weeks. But check this one out. Sol, the youngest member of my family, the fiery one with the persona that could bring down a theater. Sol, who I ushered into life, into being, delivering and connecting the flow of his fire. He nips me, keeps me in line to be assured that my intentions are for him. He wouldn't have it any less. It's a ticking moment, counting seconds down before his attitude flares and something does not suit him. If something does not suit him, need him, or meet him. Today, I rerouted the stream of lava around a curving break. It wrapped the fire like the body of like the body of rice around a spicy sushi given to me on my time frame. A habit to self. The pressure in his stream, the pressure in his steam. He is my baby. I want him to be well. I want him to grow into the right light and be tamed. And I wrote this on April 29th of 2023. So this is this is a 3-year-old poem when my son was like, 4 or 5 years old. A little fiery Leo baby. And, if it's not for his attention, he's like, ah. And so I guess I gave myself a pat on the back of writing this poem because I rerouted his attention in a different way. But yeah, when I read this poem to myself the other day, I started laughing because it's like, wow. I mean, he's more tame now, but oh my gosh, yeah, that fire is definitely there. And watch out as he gets older. Eee. So I'm just trying to shape because I know once once I'm out of the picture and he's a full-fledged adult, like what I'm trying to help everybody out there that's gonna get that attitude, right? And I think about anybody that wants to be his partner. I'm like, oh man, I gotta try and help right now. And so yeah. So I just wanted to share that one, y'all. Yeah, it's good to see everyone. Thank you for being here. And I'm really excited. I'm going to bring up our first featured guest, and she's a friend of mine and a great writer, novelist, science fiction writer, poet, and she's also a singer. And that's Doren Damico. And I'm really excited to have you here, Doren. And I just want to introduce her to y'all. She's an artist, educator, mystic, and lifelong fan of sci-fi. In 60 years of this current simulation, Doren has acquired 2 degrees in music with a jazz emphasis, 2 credentials in education supporting neurodivergent learners, and numerous out-of-the-box awards from the Academy of Life. I love that. Some of Doren's proudest acquired titles include Single Mother, Spock Wannabe, and the more recent honor of Grandmother. Congratulations, Doren. Her least favorite new titles are Bed, Tethered, and Homebound, which she acquired in the war with SARS-CoV-2, more popularly known as COVID-19. A consummate hybrid artist, in addition to Doren's singing, dancing, storytelling, and writing, Doren has dabbled in most visual arts and crafts, added a graphic design certificate to the list, and settled on sculpture. After nearly 20 years in the San Fernando Valley classrooms, Doren began an educational therapy business for autistic people and their families and was developing a community-based integrative education model before ME grounded that vision. Doren has several ghostwriting credits focused on the neuroscience of cognitive development and the praxis that supports it. She has poetry published in Los Angeles anthologies. She's also a self-published femme collaborative. And she has a self-published femme collaborative poetry and photography project, which I'm proud owner of that one, When You Can't Scream, as well as a collection of handcrafted, one-of-a-kind books. When Doren isn't merely surviving the ME condition, Doren's writing goals include a new chapbook collection embedding essential science into poems about our time, and an experimental novel that follows a ghost on the run. Currently, Doren is hanging out on TikTok and Instagram, and her handle is, I like your handle, I COVID Zombie. And please welcome, I'm so happy to have you here, Doren. Please welcome Doren Damico, everyone. Woo!
Hey, everybody, can you hear me?
Yes, there you are. Yay!
You can hear me, yes?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, you want me to get a little louder? I see you saying louder. I feel like I've got my volume up.
You're good.
Okay, excellent. Hi, thank you for having me, Jessica. I'm really excited. I have a lot to share, so I hope that you enjoy spending this time with me. And I really appreciate you also creating this space for me to share some poetry. It's been a while. Let's begin. My mother tells me my elbows. My mother sews me into jumpers, stiff blouses with wide lapels. Jumpers are little boxy dresses cut too short for climbing trees, so I rebel and I climb trees anyway. Every time she tells me no, I hear, go, climb a tree. I'm as fast as a squirrel, legs covered with bark scratches, white panties begging for denim. When the trees hum, I remember who I am. My mother tells me my elbows will certainly sprout plants. I imagine being a tree and give it a try. For 2 years I kick and scream all the way to the tub, how the water loves me anyway. When my mother tells me, out, now, I hear clicks and whistles. I've been visiting with dolphins, swimming and flying, remembering the womb, how I wasn't too eager to get out then either. My mother leaves me in the dark. Cold mornings in the quiet are my favorite. I eat 3 bowls of cereal and milk, watch Captain Crunch in his treasure house. I'm allergic to clocks, so my mother tells me, go to school when the show is over. But I'm good at math, time to skip on over to my ivy-draped pine tree palace. I second breakfast with the crows, handfuls of peanut butter crunch, finger-torn strips of lunch meat. They watch my fingers, I envy their feathers. My mother ties me to her wrist with a rope. That year we go camping instead of homeless. Most nights I sleepwalk into the forest. She lets me wander until the rope goes taut, then tells my brother, walk her back to the bed, boy. Under the stars, I dream there are no cages, no ropes, no clocks, no invisible walls, just soft light and majestic trees. I pretend I am a coyote and howl when I have nightmares with midnight sirens. My mother tells me, girl, shut up. I hear, curl up now, pup. I sleep on the hardwood threshold of my mother's bedroom door like a baby. That's my first poem, thank you. All right. Inheriting Post-it notes. 1. June 25th, 2013, I'm in Mom's office helping her pack for her new home, the last home, where she's going home to die. I want you to have this, she says, handing me a yellow Post-it. It's a quote that she wrote. In the end, it's not the years in your life that counts, it's the life in your years. Abe Lincoln. My mother was assassinated by cancer. 2. We discover Post-its on books and in piles, Post-its obsolete, crumpled and tossed. Some Post-its I learned shouldn't be lost. She bequeaths them to her eldest daughter. The love you leave behind is the measure of your life. Blue ink on hot pink. Fred Small, I think. I take them in 2 hands, each delicate sticky leaf, reverently pondering the adages and proverbs, mottos and maxims, the gold-filled cracks of ceramic teacups in a tea ceremony. She's teaching me to celebrate everything, even old Post-its. If I'd followed all the rules, I'd never have gotten anywhere. Marilyn Monroe. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Mae West. But Mom, I say, you're a Buddhist. The last is sky blue, and I read it aloud. I have slipped surly bonds of earth and followed the birds into the sun with joy. Who wrote this? I ask. That's my epitaph, says Mom.
Bravo! It's beautiful.
All right, I'm gonna sing just a little excerpt, but let's see if the volume is good. So give me a thumbs up, or like, you need me to push it away and be a little quieter, I will. This is an excerpt from an original song, The Heart of Life. Oh, where is my brother, asleep in his bed? From a long night of revel, he sleeps as if dead. Oh, how shall I wake him and take him below to the arms of our mother, the heart of love? A storm is coming, start running to a deep mountain shelter, the heart of love. Where is my mother, now free on the wind? Here, there, and everywhere, even within. Oh, how shall I hold her, enfold her in these, the arms of her daughter, the heart that sees? A storm is coming, start running to a deep mountain shelter, to a deep mountain shelter, to a deep mountain shelter, the heart of life. So, I've been playing with narrative poetry, and that's a lot of what you're hearing from me today. This next poem is part of an experimental novella I'm working on. I don't know if I'll ever finish it, but I hope to. And it is titled Inés en el Bosque. This poem captures a similar moment of that story, or a very singular moment of that story. It is titled Fantasma en el Bosque, or Ghost in the Forest. She listens to every corner of her garden, every corner of the storm. Tonight she becomes a ghost. They make a hot tea of water, mezcal, lemon and honey, even ghosts like honey. She listens to the sheets of water, to the sheets bending the calla lilies, to the dark sprays on the purple archimenes, to the trembling leaves, safe under the avocado trees, safe from her memories. She listens to a hot kettle steaming, to flashbacks of screaming. They tip the hot kettle with mezcal vapors rising, her nostrils flaring, their hands full knowing all her scars are silver, endless webs of silver, but there is not one sliver of forgiveness in her when she kills the monster. She listens to lemons rolling. Here's the lemon bowl ringing. Here's the sharp knife striking. She listens to the counters, the teak wood counters they built together. She listens to every corner of the kitchen, to hands squeezing lemons from the garden, to the dribble and the plop of pulp, to the involuntary squint of sour, to the seed that hits the counter, to the echo of their laughter, to the curtains of heaven parting, to the ache of departing. She listens to the wind howling from the east, to the ridged leaves of corn flapping like an inflatable air dancer waving above rivered furrows. She listens to their weeping heart. She listens to every corner of goodbye. She listens, and she can almost hear tadpoles in the frog chorus. She hears sirens on the ridge, sirens for courage, sirens for run. They agree she will run like a goat, nimble and clever, like a goat up the mountain, a ghost in the forest. Even a ghost catches honey in her hand, a hand still bloody, slides the honey over, leans on the body beside her, eyes closed, they listen. To the kitchen roof thrumming, heads tilted, they listen, to sirens distant but nearing, to the mezcal tea steaming, to the honey stretching long and silent tendrils in their cups, to their very last sharing of breath and lips. She listens to every corner of the sky break open. She leaves the back gate open, hears the forest call welcome, not to Inez. Inez is dead. Al fantasma en el bosque, to the ghost in the forest. No one catches a ghost.
Yeah.
Thank you. I feel really excited to share that, the debut of that poem. Hey. All right, so how am I doing on time, Jessica? Because I hadn't been paying attention. Just give me a sense of what I've got left, so I'll fix my back.
You're good. Yeah. Well, you have up to 15. I'd say probably like another 7 minutes.
Oh, good. So then I'm in perfect time. All right. Thank you, everyone. All right, this one is called Mix Match Socks, and we're moving in a different direction. Mix match socks. If I wake my mind arguing with nothing and your gods, if I burn the toast or kindness, don't think my socks are mix-matched like a flag divided. Maybe bruised black souvenirs from racing to nowhere while preparing for the worst on legs restless for anarchy. Socks worthy of mending. What if your gods need toppling? What if the bread is too white? What if your mind was hacked when you took off your KN95? You want money? I want a garden. You want power? I want peace. You want normal? I want civil. I want activists to stop acting like eugenicists. Just follow the science, protect the innocent. I made you some coffee. Now put on your mask again. While you were sleeping, Gaza was bombarded, smartphones stole the Congo, Sudan won the Olympics of sexual violence, a pandemic started, a global mass disabling crisis, and it never ended. Our governments lied to us, insurance is killing us, marching in our streets, tax-funded terrorists taking the best of us. Khaki white supremacists, it's time for breakfast. How do you want your price of eggs? On one foot cry justice, on the other deny science. Near every pair of socks I see spells sorrow. We need clean air aware people today, not tomorrow. While you were sleeping, I went puddle jumping in the rain. There was a hole in my left shoe, so I grabbed another sock. But at least I've got my respirator. If you leave home without one, there's a crater in your logic. COVID's gray shores. COVID's gray shores. One of the last places I'd take off my respirator. Ask pelican, seagull, cormorant, and piper how they share the air in flight, how they gather in craggy island solidarity, how they preen their feathers so as to be waterproof. Do any of you know how they do it? How they live on the gray shores of COVID and gather in craggy island solidarity? I know Jennifer knows. We put on a mask. That's how we do it. Okay, here's the next one. Long COVID winter solstice. The longest night is past, you say. Light returns day by day. More silence, please, my ears reply. Softest darkness soothe my eye. Oh, turn away, turn, monotonous rest. Do nothing, feel nothing, mind parkour twist. Each sunrise, a reset. Oh, welcome to sunset. I, COVID zombie, exist. I exist, I exist, I exist. The next poem, I Imagine You Out of the Dark, is for my friend Megan. My friend Megan, who was killed last year by medical neglect, killed by #MECFS, the same neuroinflammatory post-viral disease that traps me in my third-story apartment, tethers me to my bed, tortures me into hours of silence, stillness, starkest aching for everything and everywhere, lost all at once. This is myalgic encephalomyelitis, a prognosis of darkness. Megan, I imagine you out of the dark. I know some things. I know you deserve better. I know. I know there's a sweet white fog and then an iridescence, a revealing of family, friends, and love. I imagine you out of the dark. I imagine you sunbathing to your favorite music while I add you to a tattoo in my heart, and I dream of going to war against MECFS. MECFS ranges from mild to very severe. It is dangerous at any part of the spectrum because it is progressive. Every post-exertional malaise crash can lead to permanent loss in function. One day, I was a grandma working and taking care of my new grandbaby, and the next day I became mostly bedbound. That was 10 months ago. Today is my grandbaby's first birthday, and I am still bed-tethered and homebound, missing almost all of my grandbaby's life. We are the #millions missing. MECFS crash 1. For a minute there, I thought I lost the sun. I know I lost gravity, clung to levity. 1 degree of fever later, and my feet were burning. I may have danced too near, swallowed too much of the light. I admit I began to glow. Was that my error, Lord? Is that why karma cast my dark sorrows to every corner of a room I cannot escape? When I said nomad, you countered with cave dweller. Thank mama, we landed on Airy. I'm homebound, but I get to look out at a green park. I'm almost done, but I appreciate you staying with me a little bit longer. Megan always used to say in her social media posts, have they found a cure for ME/CFS yet? There is no cure. Thank you. No FDA-approved treatments for ME, and doctors often know much less than their patients. We need people to know. We need people to care about us. COVID is damaging. There is a 10 to 20% chance of developing long COVID from a COVID infection. 50 to 60% of long COVID patients meet the criteria for ME/CFS. It is considered one of the worst quality of life experiences in its severe stages. Most of us spend the end of our lives in bed in the dark. We are #frail and furious. If I stay very still, long COVID enough. Resting till rest may be enough. Still in cat quiet, COVID defiant, masking and asking you please protect. Will you cover your ears? Forget I'm still here. If I stay very still, will I still be here? Have the strength to cheer when they find a cure? Have they found a cure to ME/CFS yet? Thank you. I'm gonna end there.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry I made you cry, Jen. I cried too.
Here, so y'all can feel free to unmute. Want to show some love?
It's okay, Doren. I'm really glad I was off camera though, because I don't know what I would have done to you, but thank you so much.
I
Yeah,
love
that
the
was-
singing.
Thank you so much
Yeah.
for letting me share the space with you.
Yeah, thank you. And feel free to put any links, Doran, in the chat, and to your book or other new projects. I know you mentioned that, or on your bio was Instagram and TikTok, but feel free to add that in there. And
Just
really
I
happy
Killed
to
a
see you.
Zombie. If you want to follow me, I'd appreciate that. Right now, that's what I'm up to, and that's the seed to other places.
Beautiful. Yeah, all right, Doren, Damico in the house, everyone. I'm so really happy you were able to join us today and be part of this and lead it. I like what you use, like frail and furious, like that's fierce right there. And thank you for opening up too and sharing what you're going through, and also continuing to write, and also I know you're fighting too, and you're with how all the ways you can. I had met another writer as well that and it's like it just happens. It, like, you're doing your thing, living your life, and all of a sudden you get this, and it just knocks you down. So thank you. I really am grateful that you're here with us to share. And it's live stream, so this video is shared forever on YouTube, and you can share, share it out with all the folks. All right, y'all. Thank you. So you're at Live Poetic Open Mic. Here is the July edition with LA Poet Society. Thank you everyone for being here, and thank you everyone on YouTube who's catching the show. You can keep connected with us at lapoetsociety.org. You can also find our Instagram at Los Angeles Poet Society, and we put all our flyers of all our events there, and we're always busy. We have about, I think, a good 7 events a month, so we're always in action, right? And it's not just one person, it's all of us. So I'm so grateful to our creative community that keeps us in momentum. All right, y'all. Okay, so I just want to ask around if there's anybody who wants to share a poem, open mic poem, or a song, or anything like that. If you do, feel free to add your name in the chat box. Um, Otherwise, I'll do another piece before introducing our next featured guest. Oh my, the buffer poet. I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh. Well, it's fun. At least I get to try these new poems, like or poems that don't see a lot of, they don't get a lot of light or love. So let's see. I'm just reaching over for my journal. Anybody? And if at any time, the folks here on our Zoom want to share, feel free to put your name in the chat. Definitely stay connected with our poets. Their handles are in the chat as well. Okay, so I'm gonna bust out my journal. It's my newest journal. I got here in Mexico and Leon. um, let's see. I was giving giving a workshop. It was just one day, but I did go back to LA. I was in LA for a good month and a half back in La La Land, doing an event at the LA County Fair and just kind of working with different writers and creatives there. But I also got asked to lead a workshop at Campo de Cajuenga, which is a really cool spot over in LA it's like in the Toluca Lake or Studio City area, right across from Universal Studios, if you're familiar with that area. And it's an old Spanish fort on, of course, indigenous land, but it's a cultural space, and the Department of Cultural Affairs, um, is in charge of it. And they asked me to lead a workshop for poetry of place. I'm all tongue-tied here. And I remember I gave a few prompts on like, where is your favorite place? And just kind of free write it. What's a place that you're scared of and free write it. And then a place that you go to escape. So just with that in mind, I'll just share a stream of consciousness piece, and I'll bring up our next featured guest. All right. My favorite place is in the arms of my husband, right under the nook of his chin, because I feel safe, I feel love, and I take that back. It's under the nook of his chin because I feel safe and I love the scent of his skin. That's what I say. I feel the tenderness of the moment. I feel peace. I feel secure. A place of fear I have had was of my displacement and insecurity of who I was. It was always important to me. Spanish was such a barrier where I felt disconnected, excluded. However, when I found the Achuchas and a community of Latinx and all the in-between, I knew I belonged. And many of our stories reigned. I wasn't so different, and I felt empowered to speak for myself. I remember I used to hide behind my stepmom, not wanting to share my order. She'd always she'd always tell me, speak up, which made me feel worse because the spotlight just got brighter on a very shy kid not wanting to talk. As I grew, I started to shine, and the fear went away. My place to be alone is in the grass, surrounded by trees, vibrant company communicating with wind, the sun on my face full of joy, of life. It's where I ground myself, where I feel small, protected, comforted, this joyful time. And now of Campo de Cajuenga, the roots that resist, motioning in wind, holding down the temperature for life that surrounds. Clovers grow, roots raise out of the ground through dark mud. El lodo con agua, coating the path for this thriving life. They remain to tell the stories of the people and their ways of harvest, migration, all that came before, nighttime offerings, plentiful growth in the slush orchard. And it's like a montage of place The Spanish journey. I'm trying to be fluent. I feel like it'll be my liberation once and for all. So, I mean, I think anything we all try to learn, whatever it is that, those to-dos on our list, or even if it's a bucket list item, something, right, that we're just like, I got to get there. Because I know once I'm there, I'm on the other side of it, and I'm going to feel like empowered and powerful, unstoppable. So that's what I'm aiming for with this whole, I live in Mexico, I'm a Mexican. My parents, like, I mean, I'm also an activist artist, so I know all about like the struggle that different generations of Latinx have faced living in the United States. And my parents were of the generation, I think they were what, a second generation in, but they were, oppressed in class not to speak Spanish. My auntie actually told me, who's my mom's younger sister, because of course I'm mad, I'm pissed, because I feel like if I just knew Spanish, like the whole world would open up for me, especially where I'm at now, and everything would feel great. um, but my aunt was like, "Hey, my sister would speak Spanish, and the teacher would smack her knuckles with a ruler, in class." So it's like they were really forced to whitewash or assimilate or whatever it is, turn Jose's into Joe's, and right, and John and Juan into John. So, but it has been a difficulty that I've had since I was a kid, and not just with the Spanish speaking, but like identity. That's another story. But I'm writing about it, so I guess that's some progress. But yes, to overcoming obstacles. And one last poem, and then I'm going to introduce Jose Enrique Medina. Um, and this goes to everyone who's listening that might feel trapped or feel at a crossroads in life. And I especially want to offer this poem to those suffering with mental illness, and that are, just thinking that perhaps they shouldn't be here when, you're loved, and so many people want to see you here. So I hope that you also find that worthiness to stay. Anyway, this is called Ocean Mantra. If becoming lost in a work where you chop away the tide to hold your own current, you'll find yourself richer in the arms of spirit that moves you inward, upward, toward absolution of self-identity, and realize the true meaning behind the pattern of your breath. Tide reveals fortune, just as seashells ornament the shore. There is always more underneath the surface. Dig to uncover truth, clear as water. Thank you so much, everyone. And that piece is, I have a book as well. It's called Serious Longing, and I'll put the link in the chat. But you can also follow me on Instagram, anywhere on LA Poet Society. I'm there, or you can find me. My personal page is Europa Wind, EuropaWynd. And I finished my second book, and I sent it to a publisher. So I'm hoping, it gets hugged and embraced by them. But anyhow, No Apologies is coming out at some point, either with that publisher or a previous publisher of mine. But and right now I'm trying to get the third book together, because I have all of these loose poems, and everything, right? So I know that's a book in itself, along with the new things I'm writing here in Leon. So yes, poet power. Speaking of poet power, our next featured guest has really been on this, experiencing these wonderful wins as a poet. Like, the poetry power is with you, Jose. Jose Enrique Medina recently won an emerging artist award with PEN America. He also just got the Lambda Book Award, so I'm really excited to have him here. But I have his bio I'm going to share with you. And welcome, Scotty. Love you, love you. Thank you for joining us tonight, brother. Thank you so much. And I'm really happy you're here. All right, Jose Enrique Medina is up next. He earned his BA in English from Cornell University. His poetry collection, Haunt Me, won the 2025 Rattle Chapbook Prize. His second book, Man Without a Skirt, was selected by Alan Bass as the runner up for the 2025 To Sylvia's Press Chapbook Prize. His work has appeared in USA Today, Hispanic Living Magazine, Los Angeles Review, Best Microfiction 2019, and elsewhere. He is a Vona Fellow and the founder of the Chickens and Poetry Residency for Writers. He's also an amazing baker. I have to say, I've had his delicious treats. They're so good. He's brought them to the open mics before. You can connect with him on Instagram at Medina Writes or at medinawrites.com. And I know he put it also in the chat box. So everyone, please welcome Jose Enrique Medina.
Yeah. Thank you so much for the introduction. Yeah. And thank you so much for inviting me to be here. I'm going to read a couple of poems from my book, Haunt Me. But before I do, I'm going to read a different poem. Growing up, I was kind of like the gay, shy kid who was the scholarship boy, the good little boy. And around me were all these like tough gangsters living in the barrio. So I always wondered, if I were a gangster, what type of gangster would I be? So you guys are going to find out right now. Can you guys hear me okay? The title of this poem is Gangster Poet. ¿Qué onda, homie? Why you looking at me all crazy? ¿Quieres pedo? You got beef or what? Look, I'm no troublemaker, but if you want tortilla caliente, you just found tortilla caliente. Whoa, why you pulling a knife? I didn't know this was about physical violence. I thought you wanted a rap battle, a poetry slam, or if you're feeling Shakespearean, we could duel with sonnets, rhymes, and everything. You never cross pens instead of swords? Let me teach you how to poetry gangbang, just so you don't say I chickened out. When it comes to palabras, I never back down. All right, here's how we play. But first, put the blade down. You might poke your eye out or something. Picture this. You're with your crew, feeling the vibe. A poet high on his own verses bumps into you. No apology. Tell him, what's up, loco? You want to write against me? And most likely, because everybody's got something to prove, he'll say, fool, I'm epic. You're more haiku. You ain't even on my page. Oh, hell nah. Now it's on. You start crafting flows with your mente, but don't forget your body. Real magic moves through the body. Relax your hips. Open your sternum. Make a doorway for cosmic energy to pass through and spit sacred bars. What's that? Too much metaphysical mumbo jumbo? Fine. Just grab your balls. Same thing. Adrenaline plus swagger equals performance. Now, if he drops a metaphor, you better level up. Say, how's this for an extended metaphor? And point to your dick. Classic. There's un chingo of next level tools. Chiasmus, conceit, enjambment, ways to twist language, bend it into temples where you can pray, where you can protect the people you love. Wait, what's that look? You thought the point was to destroy him, not to shelter him in a house made of beauty, like a brother? Well, that's the secret, homie. Nobody tells you this part. We're not here to win. We're here to write each other home. Because in the end, we're all in the same gang. We're all in the same gang. That's it. That's thanks. Yeah. Thank you. The next poem is gonna be it's the first poem that starts my book, and different cultures have different ways to terrorize their children. So this is how Mexicans um, kind of scare their kids. The title is Niños de la Tierra. I grew up believing there were children under the earth. When it rains, they come out, Abuela said, wrapped tight in the exoskeleton of her rebozo. One sting and you're dead. After a storm, my little brothers and I guarded the windows with plastic swords, watching mud shine in moonlight. They're bald like newborns. Abuela whispered with her mothball breath. They cry like a child. We listened between wind's pauses for their wail. If we broke a plate, she frowned, her face wrinkled like caterpillar skin. They have 6 legs and little baby fingers at the end of each leg. They kidnap bad kids. We hid, curled in blankets like cocoons. Her face veiled in spidery lace, she slammed her hand against the door. We huddled together. Don't go outside. The children of the earth will get you. What are they? We ask. They're Satan's children, part baby, part tiger. One day, I flipped her the middle finger. I'm going to grab that little finger and twist it and give it to the earth babies, she snarled. They'll drag you to hell. When Abuela died, we found a dead cockroach and pretended it was her. We buried her in the backyard. Then we sprinkled holy water, sealing the grave and trapping her underground. All that summer, we ran on top of her, laughing in a garden of stolen roses. Um, this, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Um, this next poem I wrote for my book Haunt Me because as I got older, I noticed you're collecting the dead, and I remembered I was I read at a poetry at a poetry reading, and a woman came she came to compliment me, and she started telling me about her dead. So I thought, oh my God, she's collecting the dead too. So I wrote this poem. It's titled Like Rare Pokemon Cards, We Go Through Life Collecting the Dead. Look, let me show you my collection. It's worth more than my sterling silverware. This card, folded in half and flaking at the edges, is my first death, Abuela. No, that's not vinegar you're smelling. That's her stubbornness. Her don't touch me with your chusma because I'm a woman of God stench. Oh shit. I almost forgot Abuelo's card. One blind blue eye, one brown eye. It's so easy to forget the good ones. I mean, it's so much more fun bad-mouthing those that who wronged us. It makes the days spin faster. This one's worth less. Some cousin who overdosed in Mexico. I barely knew him. I keep the card only because we're blood and because I never answered his messages. Thought he just wanted money. Ay, ay, ay. These two, though, are gem mint. Tia Tencha y Tío Arturo. They died when I was old enough to understand death meant I'd rot like cardboard too. But let's not talk about that. And this is my favorite one, a photo of my mother. Sorry, I can't show you. Some things are too special. Time passes and my binder grows thick with ghosts. But enough about me. Go on, show me your collection. Don't be shy.
Ooh, that's awesome.
I'll read one more from, this is also from my book, Haunt Me, and the title is Broken Seashells. Since you got sick, I've been turning over the word retreat. It can mean a sergeant barking, retreat, and a bombed out regiment fleeing, or a spa weekend for a fabulous gay boy getting a pedicure at the Ritz. I love a word that swings both ways. 7 letters that say, soldier, run for cover, or girl, this makeover's lace. But there's a third meaning, quieter, to withdraw, not from war or into luxury, but into yourself, because you need the dark. Enter the snail, hauling its exit on its back, a soft thing and a hard shell. I vanish too when white boys shout, spick, and flush me from English only restrooms. When you drool, tremble, and doctors look away. When the world's a chainsaw and I'm soft-hearted wood. When seas split open and I can straddle both shores. I brought you to the retreat of this page to ask you, what if we're born already wounded? Have you ever felt like a mollusk with a broken shell that you can't close the gap that's unmaking you? Some days I carry the rubble like it's a badge. Look at me. I drag my wreckage everywhere. Other days I want to give up. Let the tide take me. But here's the silver lining. You're just as fucked, dragging your broken home, doubting your sanity, still crawling. And even as I hide inside my busted shell, I like knowing you're out there on some dark beach, safe, dreaming. Your fortress, just the world's softest pillow. This this next poem I also wrote for that my book Haunt Me, and it started with the idea, what if before we're born, when we're in heaven or wherever, what if we get to choose who our mother is? So the title of this is Even Without a Body. I curl around you, a tadpole of caresses, a touch becoming thought. You're not only light, you're a column of warmth, a hush where language begins. We drift in yesterday, no dawn, no dusk, only the breath before time. A tide of clocks lifts us like a wave and washes us into now. I reach toward the future of your face and say, I choose you to be my mother. You open a murmur blooming, a lake that says yes, a gate made of radiance. I'm a moth flame, folded into your soft shimmer. And for a moment, they can't tell us apart. Okay, I'll just read 2 more poems. Is that okay?
Yeah, that was a beautiful one. I love that one.
Oh, thank you so much. This is one of the last poems that ends the book. And I'm a businessman, so I'm kind of pushy and give orders. So sometimes I like writing poems in the imperative voice, telling you guys what to do. So the title of this is called Daily Practices. Feed the chickens, clean the bunnies, weed the raspberries. Then check your watch and say, chingado, it's already 7. Toss the hoe and lock the barn. Look up, sky flickering like a red tire fire inside a can of black clouds. Brush off the warmth of dirt and feathers. Forget how much you love the day. No, this is when the house changes shape. Let the old door open. Whistle. Purr, purr. When pigeons land, claws scratching your arms, say, okay, puppies, time to sleep. Climb into bed. Turn on the TV. Let the canned laughter convince you you're not alone. There are still people in the house. The dead don't count. Ignore Abuela's heels clacking in the hallway. Fan away Tia Tencha, who returns as the scent of chorizo con huevos. Close the blinds on Tío Arturo, a figure leaning against the porch post. Tell yourself, the departed are nothing, just sounds scattered through an open window. Things you hear, then forget. Cross your hands over your chest, sink into your pillow, and stay very quiet. Practice being dead with nothing to do. And this will be the last poem I read, and it's from my another book that hopefully it's right now it's a finalist in a big national contest. So hopefully I'll win. So we'll see. I have 2 books that are finalists in 2 big contests. So we'll see. So in one of the books, this is the poem that starts it. And the title of that one is called Man Without a Skirt. And the first poem, the title is My Dream Name is Sin Falda. Beneath a purple sky, drifting in my canoe, I pluck the word like a white lily from the smooth face of the lake of smoke. This isn't a romantic story, although it may sound like one, with mist and flowers and boats. It's only a way of telling you how stamens fall apart, how this boat moves a body from one place to another. My paddle dips, a gentle splash. The sound makes me surrender. In the water, a man stares back, fallen eyes, sagging lips. Se mira como un hombre sin falda. He looks like a man without a skirt. He looks like a man who wishes his canoe were brocade, stiff with beauty. But they don't let him wear skirts, and they don't let him grow his hair. He looks like a man whose body is a prison, and everybody tells him, wear this, don't say that. Sin falda. The phrase ripples, washing over me. The 3 syllables ring like the name of a lady destined to pose in blooms. Someone exotic and exciting. A beautiful toga-draped heroine in a Greek play. Sin falda. On the cloudy water, those 2 words close their petals and become one single word. Sin falda. I lift the dream name like a white lily and tuck it behind my ear. Thanks again for inviting me.
Yeah, everybody on mute. Show some love, Jose Enrique Medina. Oh my God.
Thank you guys.
Powerful.
Bravo.
Muchas gracias. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Wow. Yeah, I love all the visual elements in your writing, like everything, like I'm with you seeing it, but also the motion. Theater, are you a theater student too?
No, but I also write plays.
Oh, there you go.
I'm a
Yeah,
playwright too.
that's great. I was about to type the quote in the chat, but you had finished. But I love that about the two words closed up, like the bloom, the flower
Yeah.
closing. Like, gee, that was a good one.
Oh, gracias, gracias.
Well, I hope you win, hermano. I hope you win.
Thank you.
You're doing
If
so.
not, there's the other ones. You don't give up.
Yeah, exactly.
We
Never
move
give
forward.
up.
Yeah.
Never give up. And feel free. I know you put the your Instagram handle, but if you want to put your website in there or anything else to
Okay.
support your books, put them in the chat box.
Awesome. Oh yeah, and I wanted to say real quick too, I'm teaching a free workshop on how to put a book together. Um, and if you don't mind me saying, at September 19th at the West Hollywood Library, it's free. So I'll put the link so you guys could if anyone's interested, you could share it there. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much.
Yeah, thank you. Oh my God, we love to learn from you. Oh my gosh, that's such a treat. Is it also gonna be like are they gonna do like live stream it or Zoom it or anything, or all is
So
it in person only?
they normally don't, but yeah, and it's free, but usually they're very well attended. So I'm working hard on the curriculum because I really, I want to add value. I've learned a lot and I've had success with all of my books. So I want to kind of teach my little secrets so I could regret it later when all you guys compete with me.
Oh my gosh, I'm like, no, what did I do? No,
No,
but
it's
that's
part of
love.
learning is teaching.
Yeah, beautiful. No, that's awesome. Thank you. I would love to go if I'm back in town.
Okay, awesome.
But that's so cool. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. That was a great set. And also want to give another applause to Doren. Doren, you were wonderful. Love to hear you sing. I'm so happy that I know with MC, what is it, MECFS, like it's a lot of it's very taxing, to exude a lot of energy or to especially for singing. So I'm grateful that you're able to share your gift here tonight. And it's recorded, so we'll get to see it over and over. But I really pray and hope that there's a recovery for you and others that have it. And I know, I was teaching a workshop. Well, I was teaching with the writing program at UCLA, and one of my students, she's from New York. She's such an awesome poet herself too. But she, in her work, she shared her struggle and everything and how angry she was. But then she wrote also this really beautiful ode to her cane. So it's like, in front of my eyes in the 10 weeks, like, I saw her like just going with the shifts of how, she had to adapt to that, to her new life and everything. So I definitely just want to give love to you and thank you again for being here tonight. And, and everybody, thank you to Jennifer for supporting, and Alan and Adam and Scott. Thank you so much for being here at Live Poetic Open Mic. Um, I was sharing that LA Poet Society has a current fundraiser right now. We're always looking for donations, at all our events, just to help support. But we launched our new fundraiser. The fiscal year started in July, so we're trying to see if we can raise some funds just to continue everything that we're doing. But also, we have a small press called LA Poet Society Press, so a lot of that support would go to help make those books come to life that we have on our on our list, which we have even like it's all ready to go. We just got to print it, so it all helps. And also with our festivals and help support our hosts and different folks that come our way. But if you can at least share, that would be wonderful too. I just want to open up the floor if there's anyone else that wants to share or give share a resource or anything else that anyone would want to say before we officially close up our show tonight. Yeah, and Alan was listening on the train. Thank you, Alan. I love it. That's awesome. Thank you, Jennifer.
I just wanted to thank you, Jessica, for hosting and making it happen and working on accessibility. And I love the idea of your workshop. Jose. I have some books that I really like. I feel like my writing is at that place where I want to put some books together, but I cannot attend. Leaving the house makes me sick for weeks. And
Thanks.
so if you just mentioned, like just put out the word, there are people that would love to participate in creative Zoom formats or other formats.
Okay, thank you so much.
Show up. Anyway. So yeah, and thanks so much for sharing your work. It was great to share this.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, and too, real quick, the workshop is going to be for novelists, short collection, essays, because I write all of those. So there's, things that they have in common.
That's awesome. Yeah. All right. Anybody else? Well, okay. So we know Alan's on the train, or Adam. Was it Alan? Yeah, Alan. Well, thank you. And I love Sin Falda and everything. I feel like that's an anthem. Like you need to get that on like a flag, on a poster, to liberate everybody that wants to live con falda, flowing to spirit, like being who you are, just being all who you are, your authentic self, not having to feel that way. And but I appreciate that book and everything that's coming through. And thank you also for being part of the Libros open mic, that we had, and sharing again your amazing. He has a farm, folks, so he makes these awesome treats with like things from his farm. So it was awesome, delicious.
Are you're LA based?
Yeah, I'm in Whittier, which is just like 20 minutes of downtown. So the back house, I do real estate development. So the back house, I turned into this beautiful little casita. So writers could come and stay there for free for like a week. And, I like mixing nature with art.
Yeah, me too. That's beautiful.
I love it. I know, and I feel, yeah, definitely. There's poetry and everything, and art also, and everything. And thank you for bringing those worlds together and making it accessible for folks to, have, being able to enjoy it too. All right, y'all. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much to Doren, and thank you, Jose. Thank you for sharing your work, and for the folks that are here with us in the Zoom, and everybody there on YouTube. Thank you for watching, and stay connected with Los Angeles Poet Society. Our website is lapoetsociety.org. We're going on our 17th year of service in November, everybody, bringing literary arts to the creative community of Los Angeles County and beyond. Again, we have no borders. That's why I love that we have our open mic on Zoom, and we publish, again, no borders. We usually just ask that you're on theme. So that's a really exciting part of us, that we get to extend our service outside of LA as well. And yeah, stay in touch, everyone. We have lots of events coming up. As I mentioned, our Libros open mic is this Saturday. And this Sunday, we have on our Instagram, Voices of Color, which is an interview program with Miss B. We're featuring Juan Amador. That's going to be at 5 p.m. Pacific time. You just got to go to Instagram and, you'll see LA Poet Society is live, or Los Angeles Poet Society is live, and listen. We're also going to be at Melrose Trading Post in Melrose if you're, in LA, or if you have a Sunday free. We're there every Sunday, actually. We have our poets there typing poems on the spot. And we actually have 3 poets that are going to be taking the stage at 2:25. We have Randall Mason, we have Candice Margarita, and we have Salvador Badillo Rios, who are going to be featuring. And next Friday which is the last day of July, is our speakeasy at Bodevi in San Fernando. So that's also a showcase of artists with open mics. So we got a lot happening. And then it starts all over again in August, y'all. So we hope you catch us again. Thank you, gente. Thank you for being here, everyone. And I'll see you soon. Much love, everybody. Hasta luego.
See you later.
Bye.